Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something straight from the heart. If you're not working on yourself every single day, you're standing still while the world keeps moving. See, the difference between successful people and the rest isn't luck, it's consistency. Every day they wake up with one goal: to be just a little bit better than yesterday. You don't have to make a huge leap every morning, but you do have to take one step forward, even if it's small. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that will change the way you see success. Working on yourself is not something you do once in a while. It's something you commit to every single day of your life. You don't wake up one morning, make one good decision, and suddenly become successful. No, it doesn't work like that. True growth, real success, lasting change, they come from the little choices you make daily. It's about discipline, not desire. It's about consistency, not convenience. You've got to make self-improvement a lifestyle, not a moment of motivation. Every morning when you wake up, you have two choices. You can continue being who you were yesterday, or you can decide to work on becoming a better version of yourself. The world will not wait for you. Life will not pause for your comfort. You either grow or you stay stuck. The truth is, nobody becomes great overnight. Every person you admire, every success story you hear is built on daily habits, sacrifices, and unseen effort. The people who make it in life are not the ones who only talk about change. They are the ones who live it day by day, decision by decision. Working on yourself means facing yourself, your fears, your weaknesses, your excuses. It means being honest about where you are and being courageous enough to take the steps toward where you want to go. You can't keep blaming your past, your environment, or your circumstances. The moment you take responsibility for your life is the moment your power returns. Because when you stop waiting for someone else to fix your situation, you realize that the change you need has always been in your hands. Now, let me tell you something real. Growth is not always glamorous. It's not about motivational quotes or perfect mornings. Sometimes it's lonely. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it feels like you're doing everything right and nothing's working. But even in those moments, you've got to stay committed, because consistency is what separates dreamers from doers. Anybody can be motivated for a day, but only the strong stay disciplined for years. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. Every day you put in the work. Reading something that feeds your mind, doing something that strengthens your body, praying or meditating to center your soul. You're building a version of yourself that's unstoppable. Even on the days when nobody claps for you, when nobody notices your effort, you're still growing. That's the beauty of daily work. It may be invisible now, but one day it will be undeniable. You've got to treat self-improvement like brushing your teeth, something you do daily, because you know what happens if you don't. You can't do it once and expect lasting results. Success requires maintenance, just like everything else that matters. You can't pour into your dreams once a year and expect to live your best life. You've got to pour into yourself daily, with learning, with gratitude, with action, with discipline. The secret to greatness lies in your routine. What you do every day defines what you become. If you wake up with purpose, surround yourself with positivity, focus on growth, and give your best effort, over time that builds confidence, character, and success. But if you wake up complaining, wasting time, and making excuses, then that's the life you'll keep living. You attract what you repeatedly do. So, ladies and gentlemen, start small but start strong. Don't wait for the perfect day, the perfect mood, or the perfect plan. Just start. Because every little effort counts. Read that book. Learn that skill. Practice patience. Forgive someone. Save that money. Speak kindly to yourself. Every act of growth, no matter how small, builds momentum. And remember, life is not about competing with others. It's about competing with your old self. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be persistent. Working on yourself every day means refusing to stay the same. It's about progress, not perfection. It's about understanding that even when you fall, you're still moving forward because you're learning. At the end of the day, self-improvement is not a destination, it's a journey, a daily walk toward becoming the best version of you. Every sunrise gives you another chance to grow, another opportunity to do better, to be better. So don't waste it. Every day you wake up, commit to working on yourself, because that's where true power begins. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's one truth that separates those who rise from those who remain, it's this: growth doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't come from wishing or waiting. Growth is earned through discipline, patience, and consistency. Every person who has ever achieved something remarkable in life got there by doing what needed to be done long after the feeling of motivation was gone. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and results. You can have all the talent, all the potential, all the big ideas in the world, but without discipline, it means nothing. Because talent may open a door, but discipline keeps it open. See, a lot of people want the reward, but not the routine. They want the outcome, but not the effort. They want success without sacrifice. But the truth is, discipline is not glamorous. It's showing up when you don't feel like it. It's choosing focus over comfort, responsibility over excuses, and long-term gain over short-term pleasure. When you're disciplined, you don't need to be told what to do. You do it because you've already made a decision that your goals are non-negotiable. Patience, on the other hand, is what keeps you grounded when the results don't show up right away. Everybody wants things fast. Fast money, fast growth, fast success, but anything that comes easy rarely lasts. Real growth takes time. You plant the seed today, you water it tomorrow, and you keep nurturing it even when you don't see anything sprouting, because you understand that the process always comes before the promise. You can't rush greatness. You can't microwave maturity. The best things in life take time to build: your character, your faith, your career, your confidence. Consistency ties it all together. It's the daily commitment to show up, even on the days when you don't see progress. You can't just work hard once in a while and expect massive results. Success doesn't respond to intensity. It responds to consistency. If you're disciplined but not consistent, you'll start strong but fade away. If you're patient but not disciplined, you'll wait forever and never act. The real power comes when you have all three working together. Discipline to start, patience to endure, and consistency to finish. Let me tell you something. The people who make it in life are not always the most talented, but they are the most consistent. They keep going when others quit. They keep improving when others get comfortable. They keep believing when others give up, because they understand that greatness is built in the ordinary moments, the early mornings, the late nights, the unseen hours. That's where discipline lives. That's where success is born. There will be days when you feel like nothing is working, when your effort seems wasted, when you question if you're even moving forward. Those are the days that test your character. Those are the moments that separate the real ones from the pretenders. Growth is not about perfection. It's about persistence. You may not see it happening, but every step, every struggle, every sacrifice is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable. The reason so many people never reach their potential is because they give up too soon. They get discouraged when results don't come fast enough. But life doesn't reward speed, it rewards endurance. Every successful person you see today once stood where you are, uncertain, tired, frustrated. But they didn't stop, they trusted the process. They kept showing up, because growth is not a single moment of victory, it's a long series of small, unseen wins that compound over time. Discipline means doing what's right even when no one is watching. Patience means trusting the journey even when you don't see progress. Consistency means showing up again and again until it becomes who you are. Together they create transformation. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you wake up tomorrow and you feel tired, uninspired, or doubtful, remember this: you don't have to be perfect, you just have to be persistent. Discipline will give you structure, patience will give you peace, and consistency will give you results. Don't chase quick success, build lasting growth. Because the real reward isn't just what you get, it's who you become in the process. Growth is never easy, but it's always worth it. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest lessons life will ever teach you is that perfection is an illusion. Nobody has it all figured out. Nobody gets everything right. The idea that you have to be perfect before you start, or that every step has to go exactly as planned, is what keeps so many people stuck. You see, the goal in life is not to make perfect. The goal is to make progress. Because progress, no matter how small, will always beat perfection that never begins. So many people waste their potential waiting for the perfect time, the perfect skill, or the perfect opportunity. But life doesn't wait for perfect. It rewards movement. The truth is, you will never have everything lined up perfectly. There will always be challenges, distractions, or doubts. But if you can focus on taking one step at a time, one improvement a day, you'll find yourself further than most people who are still waiting for the right moment. Perfection creates pressure. Progress creates growth. You can't improve if you don't move. The problem with chasing perfection is that it sets you up for frustration. You start thinking, if it's not flawless, it's a failure. But that's not true. Every mistake you make is proof that you're trying. Every setback is a part of the process. Growth is messy, uncomfortable, and imperfect. The people who succeed are not the ones who never fall. They're the ones who keep getting back up. You have to learn to see mistakes as lessons, not losses. You're not failing. You're learning how to move better the next time. Progress is what builds confidence. Every time you take action, no matter how small, you prove to yourself that you can grow. That's how transformation happens, one step at a time. You don't need to run the whole marathon today. You just need to take the first stride, then the next one, and another one after that. That's how winners are made, not through perfection, but through persistence. You see, when you aim for perfection, you often end up doing nothing. You overthink, you hesitate, you doubt yourself. But when you focus on progress, you give yourself permission to start. You allow yourself to be a beginner. You understand that greatness is built in stages, not overnight. Even the most successful people you admire started somewhere small, awkward, I'm sure inexperienced, but they had the courage to move forward anyway. That's what separates them from the rest. The beauty of progress is that it's measurable. You can look back and see how far you've come, even if you're not yet where you want to be. That feeling, that quiet satisfaction of knowing you're better than you were yesterday, that's what keeps you going. Because every small victory counts. Every bit of effort adds up. You might not notice the change day to day, but one day you'll look back and realize how far your persistence has taken you. Don't get caught up comparing yourself to others. Their chapter 10 might look polished and perfect, but you're still writing your chapter 1. That's okay. Focus on your own growth. Everyone's journey is different, and the only competition that truly matters is between who you were and who you're becoming. When you shift your mindset from, I need to be perfect, to, I just need to improve, you free yourself from pressure and start embracing the process. Progress requires humility. You have to be willing to make mistakes, to learn, to adjust, to keep trying. It's not always pretty, but it's always powerful. Because the truth is, Success isn't built on perfection. It's built on progress stacked over time. The person who works a little every day will always outperform the person who waits for the perfect day. So, ladies and gentlemen, stop chasing flawless and start chasing forward. Don't let the fear of imperfection keep you from taking action. Progress is movement, and movement creates momentum. Every step you take toward your goal, no matter how small, puts you closer to the life you want. You don't have to be perfect to be proud of yourself. You just have to keep going, because progress, even slow progress, is still progress. And that, more than anything, is what will lead you to success. Ladies and gentlemen, the people you allow into your life will either lift you higher or pull you down. Who you surround yourself with shapes your mindset, your attitude, and your future. If you want to grow, if you want to succeed, if you want to become the best version of yourself, you must protect your environment. Because no matter how strong or talented you are, your surroundings have power. You can't plant a healthy seed in toxic soil and expect it to grow. The same goes for your dreams. They can't flourish in a negative environment. Every successful person you see today has one thing in common. They're careful about who they spend time with. They know that energy is contagious. If you hang around motivated people, their drive rubs off on you. But if you spend your time with complainers, gossipers, and people who always find a reason why things can't be done, their mindset starts to poison yours. Slowly, you start doubting yourself. You start thinking smaller. You start believing that maybe success isn't for you. That's why you've got to choose your circle with intention. Positive influences aren't just people who cheer for you. They're people who challenge you. They push you to grow. They hold you accountable. They see your potential even when you can't. The right people will not let you settle for less than what you're capable of. They'll encourage you when you're tired, remind you of your vision when you lose focus, and celebrate you when you succeed. Having those kinds of people around is not luck, it's a decision. You have to decide that your peace, your purpose, and your progress matter more than fitting in with the wrong crowd. Now, let's be honest, sometimes the hardest part of growing is outgrowing people. There will be people who once fit into your life, but no longer align with your journey. That doesn't mean they're bad people. It just means your paths are different now. Don't feel guilty for protecting your energy. You can't stay stuck just to make others comfortable. You can love people from a distance and still keep moving forward. Because the truth is, not everyone is meant to go where you're going. Surrounding yourself with positive influences also means feeding your mind with positivity. What you watch, what you read, and what you listen to all matter. If you're constantly taking in negativity, fear, or drama, it will reflect in your mindset. Fill your environment with things that inspire and uplift you. Listen to voices that build your confidence. Read books that expand your thinking, and spend time with people who remind you that you can achieve more. You've got to become intentional about your atmosphere. Your environment should motivate you to become better, not tempt you to stay the same. If you're serious about your growth, you've got to cut out the noise that distracts you and surround yourself with people and things that align with your purpose. When you do that, your mindset changes. Your focus sharpens. You start seeing opportunities instead of obstacles. You start believing in possibilities instead of limitations. Sometimes you won't have people around you who believe in your vision, and that's okay. You can still be your own positive influence. Speak life over yourself. Encourage yourself when no one else does. Remind yourself of how far you've come and how much you're capable of. Because positivity doesn't always have to come from others. It can come from within. When you build inner strength, you stop depending on external validation. You become your own motivation. Ladies and gentlemen, Your circle can make or break your destiny. If you want to go higher, you need to be around people who have already been where you're trying to go, or at least people who are striving for more. Energy is real, and when you surround yourself with winners, thinkers, dreamers, and doers, you start becoming one too. You deserve to be around people who make you feel alive, who push you toward your potential, who celebrate your growth and not your downfall. Protect your space. Guard your peace. And most importantly, make sure your circle reflects your vision, not your fears. Because in the end, you can't change your life if you keep standing in the same crowd. Choose wisely. Surround yourself with positivity and watch how your life begins to rise. Ladies and gentlemen, life will test you. It will push you to your limits, break your plans, and shake your faith. But understand this, every challenge that comes your way is not there to destroy you. It's there to develop you. Every obstacle you face carries a lesson that builds your strength, shapes your character, and prepares you for the greatness ahead. You cannot grow without struggle. You cannot discover your true power until life puts weight on your shoulders. The hard times are not your punishment. They are your preparation. Every successful person you admire today has been through something. Pain, disappointment, failure, they've all faced it. But the difference between those who rise and those who stay stuck is simple. They refuse to let their challenges define them. Instead, they let those challenges refine them. Life is not about what happens to you. It's about what you do with what happens. You can either let it break you or you can let it build you. The choice is always yours. When things go wrong, it's easy to ask, why me? But the stronger question is, what is this trying to teach me? Every setback holds a message. Sometimes you lose so you can learn how to win differently. Sometimes people walk away so you can learn independence. Sometimes things fall apart so better things can fall together. Challenges are often blessings in disguise. The problem is that most people are too focused on the pain to see the purpose. But if you look deeper, you'll realize that every challenge has been a teacher in your life. Think about it. The moments that hurt you the most probably taught you the most. The heartbreak broke you might have taught you your worth. The failure that embarrassed you might have taught you humility. The disappointment that crushed your spirit might have taught you resilience. Growth is rarely comfortable, but it's always worth it. You become wiser, stronger, and more focused each time you face something hard and keep going. Now, here's the truth. Strength isn't built when life is easy. Strength is built when you're standing in the middle of the storm and you refuse to give up. It's built when you cry, when you doubt, when you fall, but still get back up. Every time you overcome something difficult, you prove to yourself that you are tougher than you thought. You may not realize it in the moment, but those challenges are shaping the person you're becoming. They're teaching you to trust yourself, to depend on your faith, and to appreciate your progress. Don't run from hard times. Don't pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure the hard parts. Because it's in those hard parts that you discover who you really are. Anybody can smile when everything's going right, but real strength shows when life doesn't go your way, and you keep standing anyway. That's where growth happens. That's where character's built. That's where greatness begins. Sometimes challenges reveal the strength you didn't even know you had. When you come out of something you thought would break you, you realize that you are capable of surviving anything. You start walking differently, thinking differently, believing differently. You stop fearing what's next because you've already seen what you can handle. That's what growth through challenges does. It gives you confidence in your own resilience. Ladies and gentlemen, don't let your pain make you bitter. Let it make you better. Don't let your losses turn you into a victim. Let them turn you into a fighter. The world doesn't reward those who never face hardship. It rewards those who face it. Learn from it and use it as fuel to rise higher. Every scar you carry is proof that you survived something that tried to destroy you. And every lesson you've learned from your struggle is a tool that will guide you forward. So when life gets tough, and it will, remember that challenges are not roadblocks. They are stepping stones. Every trial is shaping your strength, building your patience, and preparing you for the blessings ahead. You can't avoid struggle, but you can choose how you respond to it. Don't let it stop you. Let it shape you. Because one day, you'll look back and realize that the very storms that tried to tear you apart were the same ones that taught you how to stand tall. Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a point in life when you have to decide that you are capable of more than what you've been settling for. You have to look in the mirror and say, I believe in me. Because if you don't believe in your potential, no one else's belief will ever matter. The truth is, every great thing that has ever been achieved started with belief. Not resources, not opportunity, not luck, but belief. Belief is the foundation of success. It's the quiet fire inside you that says, no matter how hard it gets, I'm going to make it. Your potential is limitless. It only becomes powerful when you believe in it. You can have all the gifts in the world, but if you don't believe you deserve to use them, they'll stay buried inside you. Too many people talk themselves out of their blessings before they even begin. They let fear, doubt, and other people's opinions convince them that they're not good enough. But you've got to understand something. No one can define your potential except you. You were created with a purpose, and that purpose doesn't disappear because you failed, struggled, or been told no. You still have greatness inside you. You just have to have the courage to bring it out. Believing in yourself doesn't mean you'll never be scared. It doesn't mean you'll always have the answers. It means that even when you're uncertain, you trust that you can figure it out. It means knowing that you might not be where you want to be yet, but you're on your way. That kind of belief gives you power, the power to keep moving forward when everything in life tries to hold you back. When you truly believe in your potential, you stop waiting for permission to grow. You stop asking the world to validate your dreams. You start creating your own path. But belief alone is not enough. You must also be willing to evolve. Growth doesn't stop once you reach one goal or overcome one challenge. You've got to keep learning, keep stretching, keep improving. The moment you stop evolving, you start declining. Life is always changing, and the people who stay relevant, strong, and successful are the ones who keep adapting. You can't let old versions of yourself hold you back. What got you here won't get you there. You have to be willing to reinvent yourself again and again. Evolution means being open to growth, even when it's uncomfortable. It means letting go of what no longer serves you, old habits, negative thinking, limiting beliefs. Sometimes it means walking away from the version of yourself that's playing small. You've got to be brave enough to behind the familiar so you can step into the exceptional. Change is never easy, but it's always necessary. The butterfly only learns to fly when it stops clinging to the cocoon. Ladies and gentlemen, your potential has no expiration date. You're never too young to start and never too old to grow. Every day you're alive is another opportunity to evolve into a better version of yourself. You can always learn something new, always improve your mindset, always elevate your standards. Life is a continuous journey of becoming, and the moment you stop believing that you can become more, that's the moment you stop truly living. Don't let fear or failure convince you that your story is over. Every time you fall, you gain wisdom. Every time you struggle, you build resilience. Every experience adds something to you, a lesson, a skill, a piece of strength. You're not the same person you were yesterday, and you won't be the same person tomorrow. That's what evolution is all about: constantly becoming, constantly improving, constantly expanding what you believe is possible. The world is full of people who gave up because they stopped believing in themselves. Don't be one of them. Keep your faith strong. Remind yourself every day that you were created for something greater than where you are now. You are not limited by your circumstances. You are empowered by your mindset. The only limits that truly exist are the ones you accept. So believe in your potential with everything you've got and never stop evolving. Keep growing, keep pushing, keep becoming. Because as long as you're breathing, you still have more to give, more to learn, and more to become. You are not done yet. You are just getting started.